All right, we are back for episode 15 of Old Skies, and following up on our conversation with Otis and Marla here, we're going to go try to talk to Marla's brother back at the bookstore, which I believe is right here.
Excuse me.
Hmm?
You're Liam, correct? Marla Knox's brother.
Yeah, that's me. Is she okay?
Oh yes, she's fine. I'm just checking in on the family, on behalf of Nathan.
Oh, well, any friend of Nathan's is a friend of mine. Love that kid like a son.
So you're close with Otis Knox and his family? Because earlier you said that you didn't know him.
What was I supposed to say? I hate lying, but they like their privacy. So do I. The last thing I need are his fans swarming this place.
Wouldn't fans swarming this place be a good thing?
You'd think that, but no. I like things simple.
Simple. On the Coney Island boardwalk.
Selling books is simple. Dealing with Otis's fans bugging me for his address is not. So please don't blab.
Lips are sealed. I'm curious. If you're so close to Marla and Otis, why are you here alone?
Alone?
They're watching the fireworks about halfway down the boardwalk. Why are you here instead of with your sister?
Oh, they wanted to be by themselves tonight. I'm okay with that. Otis has more than proven himself. I trust him now.
Yeah, that's a weird thing to say. Him wanting to give his sister and her husband some space on a nice romantic fireworks show makes all the sense in the world, but what is this about trust?
Otis proved himself. Why did he have to do that?
Yeah. Maybe I shouldn't have said that. Let's just say he didn't make the best first impression, but he's good now.
Because he's famous?
No. Not exactly. Never mind. Forget it.
Otis is good now, implying he wasn't good before.
I said never mind, okay? I let it go ages back. So should you.
Sorry, I'll leave you alone.
Thanks. We'll be open tomorrow if you want anything.
Well, at issue is I don't know what to do with that information. Otis is good now. Do I go back and talk to Otis about, like, hey, I talked to Marla's brother, it seems like you two have really patched it up since, well, you know, and see what he says? That's about as sensible as anything that I can think of. Yeah, we can't show him this. I guess we could try to show him this picture.
Perhaps there's a timeline where that worked.
He's not going to care about the key that goes to Adam Cole's house. I'll just try this one more time. This is a loop, right? A conversation loop?
Excuse me.
Hmm?
Otis is good now, implying he...
I said I let it go.
Sorry.
Thanks.
Yeah, let's go back and talk to Otis. I don't know why this would make him open up. No, you know, the neighbor. Let's go talk to the neighbor. Margaret.
Hello again.
Yes?
Did you know the Knox family before Otis became famous?
They moved in just after me, so yeah.
What was Otis like?
Why? What have you heard?
Just curious. I imagine becoming a celebrity changes people.
For the worse, usually, but not Otis. Fame suits him. The year he released his first book, it all stopped.
You said it all stopped when Otis wrote his first book. What stopped?
The drinking, the ear-splitting fights. God, those two could go at it. Almost called the police once, but figured it was none of my business. I know better now. It all worked out, thank heaven, but if things went the other way... Well, like I said, it all worked out.
The drinking?
That man could put it away. The bottles I'd see stacked up on trash day? Well, no point in thinking about the bad old days. Like I said, it all worked out.
There were fights.
If you lived here back then, you wouldn't be asking that question. The screaming from those two. She ran away once, told me she was gonna stay with her brother, begged me not to tell her husband, but she was back home the next day like nothing happened. I almost called the police, but figured it wasn't my business. It all worked out in the end. But if it didn't, well, no point in thinking about that.
What do you mean, it all worked out?
Like I said, it all stopped. The fights, the drinking, everything. Otis sold his first book, and within the year, he was completely transformed.
You really think one has to do with the other?
I don't know what else it could be.
We've never shown her this family photograph. I didn't know that it was a possibility.
Is this a photo of Otis Knox and his family?
That's them, sure enough. But why did you scribble out Marla like that?
Oh, it wasn't me. But you're sure that's Marla?
I'd recognize that necklace anywhere. But who did that to her picture? They ought to be ashamed.
I have no idea.
Can't imagine why anyone would do such a thing to her. She's the light of the neighborhood.
That's exactly the phrase used when we put it into the scanner. I'm trying to remember exactly what it was, but something about the light.
I'll leave you alone now.
See you around.
I'm starting to think that either Otis or Marla is not the original one from this timeline. That we know Adam Cole is a big question mark, and that he sort of steps into this whole scene after the mysterious disappearance of Otis. I'm wondering if Adam Cole is the original Otis or like a duplicate Otis. There's that sort of radical personality shift after selling your first book. Yeah, people can clean their lives up, but I don't know, it doesn't smell right. And the fact that Marla's face is scratched out, that's the thing that might lead me to think that Marla has something to do with it. Because we've got this photograph of her, and then this one, it's so badly marred. Fia had said, oh, they must have done this so that you couldn't use this photograph at the hand scanner. But what if it's masking the fact that in this photograph she looked similar, but it's not actually the same person? Again, though, without some more information, let's go into the house just to see, since we're already here. I feel like now we go back to Otis and Marla, and we see if we can get them to trip up on anything. And I don't know what to make of this still. It's their rental receipt from something Burr in the 14th. Like, January, February, March, April, May, June, July. Like, this seems like it would be from the end of the year. And unless this screen scrolls over, and we've already looked inside here, where we had the one photograph. Two identical photographs. Sometimes you just get duplicates and you throw them in the drawer. Like, that's fine, but almost as if somebody was looking for differences.
Sorry to bother you again, but
What?
I was told you were a very different person before you were famous.
It's no secret. I used to drink a lot.
Used to?
Yeah, completely dry these days.
I see. And that cooler of beer next to you?
That's for me.
Really?
Yes?
That's a lot of beer for one person.
My parents came from Germany.
It's also none of her business, Marls.
Right. It's none of your business.
Of course. Sorry.
Yeah, none of this is at all. Set aside the fact that he is a famous author, this random woman is just walking up and plumbing you for information about your personal and private life. So before you became famous, I hear that you were really a drunk. It's like, get out of here, lady.
I'll leave you alone now.
Thank you.
However, I don't know what any of this has gotten us. I feel like we call Nazo, like the only other place that we could go is Adam Cole's, but what are we going to find there? We still got the time machine. We don't know where Adam is. I guess we could talk, oh wait, we could talk to what's-his-face about the drinking specifically, because he wasn't saying anything and now we have more information. What's this dude's name? Niall? Otis is the writer. What is this man's name? I'm so good with names.
Excuse me.
Hmm?
So I heard some stories about Otis, about how different he was back in the day.
Different. Yeah, that's one way of putting it. He drank like a fish. Said it was part of his process. I'm just glad he fixed things before it was too late.
Marla tried to run away, didn't she?
No try about it. It was all arranged. She just learned she was pregnant. She told me everything. Asked me to help her get away. So I booked her a room at the Hotel Commonwealth. Got her a train ticket for the next morning to our cousin's place in Georgia. But then it all got better. They came around the next day, hand in hand, like nothing happened.
Did you get that, Nozzo? The Commonwealth Hotel?
I got it. The address is close to your position, but it was torn down by your win.
Give me the address anyway. You never know.
I also want to note, it doesn't make any sense for this to be in like a different, similar looking Marla, because surely her own brother would have noticed that. This is just what happens when I start thinking a little bit outside the box and then realize, wait, that makes absolutely no sense. Unless this guy's also in on it, which also doesn't make sense, because then why would he be talking to us about this, even when confronted?
She didn't leave him after all. Why the change of heart?
Beats the hell out of me. I thought she was out of her mind. She swore up and down that he was a changed man. I might have laughed in her face, but the kicker? She was right. He hasn't touched a drop since. And you've met them, right? Tell me you've never seen two people more in love. Something must have put the fear of God into it. Made him realize all he stood to lose. Lots of time has passed since then. Took a while for him to earn my trust. But earn it he did. I'm proud to call him my brother-in-law.
It also doesn't make sense for it to be a different Otis, though, because he knew him both before and after this miraculous personality change. I don't know what could account for this yet.
You said a long time has passed since Otis had his epiphany. Do you know how much time?
20-some-odd years ago? Time flies.
20 years exactly?
Something like that. Maybe more, maybe less. I know I had just bought this place. Was working around the clock fixing it up. My only bed was an old sofa. That's why I got Marla the room at the Commonwealth. Probably for the best. If Otis came looking for her here, I might have punched his face in.
Sorry, I'll leave you alone.
Thanks. We'll be open tomorrow if you want anything.
I have a feeling we're going to be traveling 20 years back in time to visit this hotel back when it existed.
Sounds like Otis Knox had a real change of heart when Marla left him. A real epiphany moment.
Could be. There's nothing about it in the archive. Nothing much about his personal life at all, come to think of it. I wonder...
You wonder what, exactly?
Otis Knox's timeline ranking is the highest there is. If anyone changed it, we'd know. But his family, they were fair game. If there was minimal archived information about his family to start with, then someone could change things without tripping any alarms. It would have to be subtle, but it could be done.
It sounds like he changed into a different person overnight. Could that be relevant?
We all go through things that change us. That's nothing special. But with everything we found in that secret basement, I don't know. I can't rule anything out.
Any word from Nathan Knox?
Just a boilerplate letter from his lawyer. I've passed it along to the brass.
I'd like to see this so-called change of heart for myself. Can we do that?
Sure, if we can pinpoint what that day actually was. Any idea what that could be?
I think I may know when Otis's change of heart might have been.
You do? Okay, tell me.
Oh, wait, but I don't know what... I don't think we do have enough information then. Because I was going to say 20 years ago, and then I figured you can always refine it a little bit later, except that they have established that making time tunnels is like financially really expensive. It takes a lot of resources to do. So I don't have this information.
April...
Oh, I right-clicked.
The 14th.
What year is it even currently? Hold on.
1972.
I'm not sure that's right. This is a high-ranking person we're dealing with. We don't want to do this more than once. Are you absolutely sure?
Now that you put it that way, I'm not sure at all. Let me think about it some more.
I'll do the same.
So we definitely have to go to the hotel.
That's all for now, Noz.
I'll leave you to it.
Or the site of the hotel, specifically.
So much for that. There's just a vacant lot at that address.
Oh, I thought that there would be like, I don't know, parking lot or something. So we need to pinpoint the exact date of the change, and again, we have a limited number of people to talk with. I think the neighbor is our best bet for that. Or, wait, it was right when he published his book, wasn't it? Or very close to that time. Oh, derp. So, 1977. Let's write down 1977. That's his first book, and that's when everything changed. But we don't have a month or day. I should probably make a note of the name of it. Hold on. Echoes in the Dark. Let me just write that down real quick. I'll just write down E in Dark. He vanished on July 4th, 1993. So actually that's the current date. So 93 or so. Doesn't say anything here about the date of his first publication. Nothing new here. All right. Liam is that other dude's name. And then we've got Adam, Cole, and Evelyn. Did I call her Margaret before? Where did I get Margaret from? I think Evelyn is the next door neighbor.
Hello again.
Yes?
Could you tell me again what you meant by it all worked out?
Well, like I said, it all stopped. Otis sold his first book, and within the year, he was completely transformed.
You really think one...
I don't know.
I'll leave you alone.
See you right...
So how do we find the date of his first publication? I mean, Liam might know. Liam would know, but he's really like, well, I don't know, about 20 years ago. You would usually think that he would have copies of his own book around.
Looks like he opened his shop just in time for Halloween.
Got it. I remember making an observation about that last time. Looks like it was right at Halloween. So we've got October 1977. Do we think it was literally the 31st? Maybe the 30th? 30th or 31st, you would say? Technically, it could have been like up to 2 weeks ahead of time. I probably would have decorated early. You don't put all of that stuff up right on the day. Oh, wait, but this scrapbook has to have something to do with it. What do you want to bet that that's October 14th? I don't know how we would put this together. Like, this is a... No, that's the hotel. Now we recognize the header up at the top. Hotel Commonwealth. This was a receipt on blank-er 14th. But this would be October based on the fact that we have the... I think we have it. I think everybody gets it. I'm just going to write down 14th. And that's 1977. All right, I think we have a date. I don't know why I'm coming out here to make this call to Nazo. I feel very self-conscious about just, like, loitering around talking to nobody subphonically. Let's call Nazo.
Nazo.
Yeah, Fia.
I think I may know when...
You do?
October. 14th.
The 14th.
77.
1977.
Yeah, I think you may be right.
Let's hope so.
Okay, checking to see if we can tunnel from your current landing point. That will save us some time. And... accepted. Head over. It should be ready to go by the time you get there.
That's all for now, Noz.
I'll leave you to it.
Timefall successful. Going local again now. Same outfit as before?
I didn't have time to program in the specs for anything new, but most 1990s fashions were inspired by the 1970s. You'll fit right in.
You've got nothing else on file?
Nothing aside from the white polyester disco suit that I once generated for Duffy.
Tempting, but no, definitely not. But if I need to infiltrate a dance hall, I'll let you know.
I'll keep it prepped. Standing by.
I want to see full grunge rocker Thea. Okay, I think we head over to the... Well, we have a wealth of options, don't we?
Yeah?
Let's say I find this Adam Cole, and let's say he did muck around with Otis Knox's past. What should we do?
We deal with him, however you can.
Right. I thought as much.
I'll be here if you need me.
I'm glad I haven't had to spend a lot of this game vaporizing people. I know that it's something that I've tried to do. Actually, I've tried to mostly stun people, but I'm not playing this game for a murder time. Well, let's just go to the hotel.
That man is as high as the lunar space station. I doubt talking to him would yield anything useful. I see no reason to bother her. I'll just take a quick look. Here are all the guests who signed in today. There are quite a lot of them.
And probably not a lot of Otis Knoxes, I'm going to say already.
This name is unfamiliar to me.
They all will be then, because I don't see any Otis Knoxes. And Otis Knox has not been introduced as being a pen name, but he might have had a different alias that he would go under even before he was famous. I don't know. So let's say that we don't have enough information to do this yet. Bell. I guess we could ask.
Tempting, but it's probably best that I remain unobserved for now.
And no, I'm not going to the
Also,
elevator.
What about Otis Knox's high timeline impact ranking? If this Adam Cole altered Otis's life, and we alter Adam's life, this could alter Otis Knox's history, couldn't it? Something we should never, ever do. The rankings must be maintained and all.
Nothing's ever easy, is it? Figure out what happened. Only then can we decide what to do about it.
One step at a time.
That's all we can do.
Payphone, smoker, beachgoer. We might as well take a look at some of these folks. Exhausted looking woman is fixated on her cigarette and little
I
else.
shouldn't bother the locals unless necessary.
So we'll get that for all three. Can't hear what's on this fellow's radio, but he seems to be enjoying it. And the man scans the horizon for ships. For what reason, you have no idea. Don't really feel like we've got anybody to call.
Nobody seems to be in. The store must not be open yet. That payphone seems broken, but perhaps I could make use of this telephone directory. Who should I look up? No entry.
We'll try Marla Knox.
No entry.
I do not have last names for any of these people, so I kind of don't think they're going to show up.
I don't know his last name, so I can't look him up. I don't know.
Okay, let's go to the Knox residence then. I did hear that they were all talking, a lot about, oh my god, look, it's just a little sapling now.
I shouldn't uproot it.
That they were talking about Adam Cole, so I feel like maybe we should go interact with Adam. Curtains are drawn.
Nobody's home.
Awesome.
There we go. Good thing the Knox family never changed their locks in 15 years.
Oh, this place sucks. Take as directed. Psilubin, 10 milligrams.
Psilubin?
A medicine commonly used for diabetes. It was discontinued in the late 70s.
So Otis Knox was diabetic?
It appears so.
What do you want to bet that the emphasis is on was, and that in the present day he's mysteriously not? Whoever the subjects of these photos are, you have no idea. No idea. Clock. Let's look at the typewriter. Idea for next novel. Struggling, hard-working author doing his best to put food on the table is constantly frustrated by his lying, ungrateful bitch of a wife and his pea-brained brother-in-law. To hell with you, Marla, and goddamn you, Liam Whiteman. Okay, hold on, now we've got a last name. Just writing down Liam Whiteman. Okay. I'm coming for you both. Covered with a collection of cigarette bottles, crumpled up paper, and cigarette butts. Yes. Alright, let's look up Liam. Liam Whiteman died in 2031, a cherished figure in the Coney Island community and longtime owner of the modest bookstore on the boardwalk. Passed away on June 5th, 2031 at the age of 86 due to complications from a respiratory infection. Known for his encyclopedic knowledge of literature and his warm, engaging conversations, Liam built a reputation as a kind and welcoming presence to all who visited his shop. Despite the rise of e-readers and the decline of physical bookstores, Liam stubbornly refused to close or sell his store, believing in the power of printed books and their ability to create connections. Over the years, he turned down several lucrative offers to buy the shop, determined to preserve it as a haven for book lovers. Liam is survived by his sister Marla and his nephew Nathan. He will be deeply missed. We might also get a hit off of... No, we still don't have Marla at all. I was going to look up Marla Whiteman, but we don't have that. I'm just curious for Adam Whiteman, just in case. No. And then, no reason to think this will bring up anything. And our final thought, Otis Whiteman. Okay, those were all long shots, so I'm not surprised that we came up with nothing. Now we can look up his phone number.
Who should I look up? No entry.
Damn it. Okay, then I don't feel like we've got anything else to look up right now.
No entry.
Let's go to Adam Cole's place.
That location is a cigar shop in this Wen. No need to investigate further.
Okay, let's try to remember that.
In this Wen, that beach contains more broken glass and dirty needles than grains of sand. I'll leave it alone.
Okay, so the next thing that makes the most sense is that Liam Whiteman would have been in the book, in the registry, because he was the one that got the room for Marla. M. Whiteman, Marla Whiteman, here we go.
M. Whiteman. Liam's surname is Whiteman, so it must be his sister's original name as well. This has to be it.
Oh wait, but I didn't pay attention to the room.
No need. I already know Marla's room number.
Okay, I'm glad you do, because I don't. Well, this seems bad.
Oh, good God. Is that...
Running comparison scan? Impossible. That's Otis Knox.
Are you sure?
I'm sure. The scan compared him to every public photo of him from 1977. It's him.
That should be a 5-alarm situation back home, right?
It should.
Then how?
Occam's razor. If Otis Knox is dead in 1977, then that man you saw on the beach in 1993, that's not Otis Knox. Get back there. Confront him. Use whatever means necessary. Find out who the hell he is.
And what about Marla?
This was her hotel room. She's involved. Somehow. Do whatever you need to do.
I feel like there should be more that we would learn. Okay, I don't know what I expected. Let's search.
Nozzo, I know there's a whole impact ranking thing, but under the circumstances, should I search the body?
Okay, but don't take anything.
Wallet, keys, assorted odds and ends. Nothing that explains how he got here, or why.
What was in the wallet? Did it have his ID? Because the other thing about this is that Otis Knox was apparently never reported as having been murdered, so what happens to this body? The eye-melting curtain is thankfully closed. Okay, TV sucks.
I'd rather leave them on.
Really? Okay, I will try. I would absolutely turn these off. I just feel like if anybody, I don't know, peeks through the keyhole or whatever, rather have it as dark as possible, but this is fine.
Tempting.
Okay, we'll not call for the concierge.
Sorry to bother you again, but
What?
I know the truth, Otis.
Truth? Of what?
That you're not really Otis Knox.
Huh?
Otis Knox was murdered 15 years ago.
I don't think he was.
Okay, that's enough. We've been nice, we've been patient. We humored you because we didn't want to cause a scene in public. But there's a line, and you've crossed it.
I'm sorry, but I'm telling the truth. His body was found in a hotel room.
Oh? Oh, is that right? Found by who, exactly?
By me.
Sorry if I don't believe you. You're making this up.
I promise I'm not.
Marles, let it go. She knows. I told you this could happen eventually.
But Otis, you can't. Not now. We were so close.
I know, but it's time.
Time for what? What's this about?
I'll tell you everything. But first, help an old guy up, will you?
No, don't touch him. No. Stand up your damn self. I would want to take 4 steps back. Okay, I guess this is what we're doing.
Thanks. 40 years till I can get my next Anderson injection. Not sure I'm gonna last that long. Figured it out yet? Come on, Fia. I refuse to believe you're this slow.
You're a time traveler.
Used to be. I haven't been for a long time. Come on. You're so close.
You're Adam Cole.
I plan to be, but not yet. Come on, you've almost got it.
I never told you my name.
Depends on your point of view, doesn't it? Always a gnarly subject where time travel is concerned.
No, it can't be.
Blast it, Fia. You really haven't figured this out? Did I teach you nothing or what?
No. Duffy!
Hi, Fia. You haven't aged a day.
I don't understand it. How?
And hi, Nazo. I assume you're listening? Let me guess, he's sputtering and frantically grabbing for the protocol guide.
No one. Shut up.
Oh, I wish I could hear him.
We thought you were dead.
I know. That was the idea. How long has it been? For you?
Only a few weeks.
15 some odd years for me. But you already know that.
So you didn't kill yourself?
Kill myself? Is that what you thought? I was sure I made it look like an accident.
No. We figured you were too smart to forget something as important as that.
Oh. Thanks, I guess.
Well, it's been 15 years.
Why do this, Duffy? Why put us through this?
Do you really need to ask that? My reason is right behind you.
Oh, please.
It's the truth. I don't need any better reason than that.
Duffy, you look so much...
Older? It's amazing what happens when you don't have access to Anderson injections anymore. Took about 10 years for biology to catch up. Just as well. Dyeing my hair gray every month was a pain.
You killed Otis Knox.
I am Otis Knox.
You know blasting well what I mean. You murdered a man. You sent his body back in your place, made us think you were dead. And you've been living as him ever since.
You're not wrong, but I meant what I said. As far as history is concerned, I am him. I suggest you really think about what that means.
Well, I'm trying to work it out now for sure. Why didn't the brother notice that, like, the dude who was a violent, shouting drunkard with no writing talent was suddenly not that same person? I still have questions.
Nozzo, what do we do? There must be some protocol for this.
There is, but...
None of them apply to me. You know the rules. The rankings must be preserved. And what's my ranking again?
Hi.
Yeah, high, which means you can't touch me.
We may not be able to touch you yet, but Otis Knox disappeared after the fireworks, according to the historical record, which means after that, you're fair game.
Yeah, but until then, we're on my time. Time which I intend to use. Marla, this is it. Not the way I expected it to be, but...
It's not fair. It's just not fair.
I know. But it's been worth it. Every last second. Damn it. It's starting.
I thought we'd have more time. Just a little more time.
I know. We always think there's more time. Until there isn't.
I love you. You saved my life. In every sense of the word.
And I love you. You and Nathan gave my life meaning. More than I ever imagined possible. I'll see you again. I promise you that.
You'd better.
Thea, let's take a walk.
A walk?
History says the last two people to see Otis Knox were a shop owner on the Strip and one of my neighbors. Can't upset the rankings, can we? Brass will accuse me of many things, but not that. So let's go. Go ahead and say it.
I wasn't gonna say anything.
You still can't lie worth a damn.
Do you have any idea what you put us both through?
I know, and I'm sorry if there was any other way.
Well, at least you're sorry. I saw your dead body. You have no idea what that was like.
It wasn't mine. It was Otis Knox.
Blast it, Duff. You killed a man and took over his identity for 15 years. You still haven't told me why.
It's complicated.
We have time.
No, we really don't. Hey, Liam!
Oh, hey, Otis. I thought you and Sis wanted to be alone tonight.
We did, but I just wanted to return this Ash Bless book you gave me.
Now? That could have waited until tomorrow, or any time.
Doing it now. I also wanted to say... I love you like a real brother. You know that? Thank you for everything.
You feeling okay?
Never better. Enjoy the fireworks. See you around.
Sure. See you around.
Gonna miss that big lug. Would you believe that in the original history, Otis forced Liam to hold a book signing today? On the 4th of July, for God's sake. At least I managed to spare him that indignity.
I'm so confused. So the original Otis Knox was also a writer.
So that was you. You altered that photograph.
Yeah, that was me. I figured that the only real risk was if someone came back in time to check. If they did that, the jig was up anyway. I always wondered if Liam could tell the difference, you know, between me and the original. Looking back, he must have known, but he never said anything. Not once. The original Otis and Liam never got along. Maybe he felt I was an improvement.
Improvement or not, you can't go around history killing people.
How many people have you killed on the job?
One, well, actually infinity, because of all the time changes. Maybe we'll get this, but right now in my head, what's happening is, so did he travel around through time until he saw somebody who looked enough like him, and there are, you know, very similar looking people in the world, that he was like, that's the guy, I'm gonna steal his life? It feels like it's a 1 in a billion shot, and you do this long enough, yeah, you're gonna find somebody who looks a lot like you, but same height, same face, same build. I guess he was dyeing his hair for a while. It feels like a lot to then step so completely into that guy's life that you pick up with his same wife, with his same brother-in-law, in the same house, with the same neighbor, like, and no one ever notices that you're that similar.
That's not the same thing, and you know it.
Why? Just because you had permission and I didn't?
You're just making excuses for yourself, trying to justify what you did.
I don't need to justify it. Otis Knox deserved to die. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. Anyway, here's our next stop. Ms. Sherman!
Please, call me Evelyn. I've told you 1,000,000 times.
Not gonna happen. I just wanted to give you that advanced copy of the first Thirst I promised you.
You're kidding. You're doing that now?
It hits stores next week. We wait much longer, it won't be special anymore. Here you go. Sign and everything.
Thank you. My nephew's gonna flip. He loved your last one.
You have a good night, Miss Sherman.
Evelyn.
Sure. Evelyn. Let's go, Fia. Such a trip, that lady. Cooks an amazing roast. She says it's the herbs. Giving her a signed copy of my last book was the least I could do in return.
How did you rewrite all those books anyway? Did you write them all from memory?
God, no. Would you believe I had to jury-rig a quantonic generator just to pull copies of Otis Knox's books from the previous timeline? I thought about changing a few words here and there, putting my own spin on them. It was so tempting, you've no idea. But I didn't. Not once. Old habits die hard, I guess. Say something, Fia, for God's sake.
I guess I had first assumed that Otis Knox was a nobody who he then made into a famous author. Clearly, that is not the case.
Was it worth it?
Yes. 1,000,000 times over. The fireworks will be over soon.
You know what happens after.
Yes, I know the protocol. You'll take me to a landing point, then Nazo will beam over a fresh chrono suit for me, then you'll bring me back.
And if you refuse?
You shoot me, with no consequences whatsoever.
Will that be necessary?
No. No, it won't. Come on, there's a great spot to watch the fireworks just over here. Nice, huh?
It's quite breathtaking.
We're still on the same wavelength, even after all this time. The future may be home, but it seems like such a sterile place now. Home is where the love is, and there is no love there. Or maybe I'm just literally stuck in the past. See this boat? It's mine. My plan was to disappear, just like history says I did. Then I would slip into a new identity and work my way back, be with Marla again.
As Adam Cole.
Yes, I'm sorry, Fia. I'm so sorry.
This dude is going to attack her. I'm amazed that he hasn't already. Maybe he knows that now that the jig is up, the time travelers will never stop. Even if he stops Fia, the next one, the next one, the next one, he can't dodge them all.
At least you were careful. It could have been much worse.
Oh, no, you misunderstand. I'm not sorry for what I did 15 years ago. Not ever. I'm sorry for that.
What the... Duffy? What did you...
See you soon, Fia.
Fia? Fia! Blasted! Duffy, what did you do to her?
You there, Nas? I'm sorry it came to this. Better hit that rewind button, for all the good it'll do.
Activating ERP.
Damn it. It's starting.
I thought we'd have more time.
Oh, it worked. I'd recognize that look anywhere. How many times has it been?
I have no idea what he did. This guy is many steps ahead of me.
What the hell happened?
Ah, got it. So this is the first time. When you took my hand to help me out of that chair, I dosed you with Morphobite, absorbed through the skin.
Morphobite?
It hardens stomach acid. Takes about 20 or 30 minutes for the effects to take hold. It's not pleasant, but you seem to already know that.
You poisoned me.
Don't worry. The cure is easy enough to obtain in about, 62 years.
What?
Quanmexlin, Fia. It's the only cure. We have a few vials in the first aid kit. You need to get back here.
Run back home to Kronozen, Fia. You have just enough time. It's too bad I'll be long gone by the time you get back.
They have a very well-stocked first aid kit in their home. Yeah, Kronozen is just going to send somebody else.
Kronozen will send someone else.
I know how to live off the radar, Fia. I've eluded Kronozen for 15 years while living as a blasting celebrity. You think I can't do the same while living as a nobody? Adam Cole isn't the only identity I created. You'll never find me. Marla, I'll see you soon.
You'd better.
Bye, Fia. And I'm sorry.
I hope you're happy. I really... forget it.
Okay, we've got like 30 minutes before her stomach acid hardens, which is a really funny way to die, I think. Unless this is a real thing, in which case it's not funny at all. It's just... okay. let's...
Fia, we don't have a lot of time here. Landing point, now.
Okay, what if not landing point? What if Nox residence for their first aid
How
kit?
long have I got, Nazo?
20 or 30 minutes, give or take. The landing point is 5 minutes away. You have time. I've got the antidote ready to go. I'll administer it as soon as you arrive. Fia, you're not exactly hurrying.
My stomach acid is turning to concrete. It's tough to bend.
Can you send me back after you'd cured me?
It won't work.
Why not? Just send me back to the exact second I left from.
We've been through this before, remember? We can't risk another Crovergence.
So? I've managed once before.
In your weakened state, it would kill you. For real. The rewinds won't be enough. So no, I'm not doing it.
So he's getting away.
That doesn't matter, Fia.
Of course it blasting matters.
You're dying. Focus on that.
I'm not dying, Noz. Not really.
The acid in your stomach is changing its molecular composition as we speak.
Not yet, it hasn't.
It will if you don't move.
What'll happen next?
We've done all we can. The brass will assign someone to look for Duffy, but
They won't find him.
I ran a scan for him. 50 years worth of data from your card when. Every camera feed, every publicly available photo. Absolutely nothing. He's gone.
I suppose that's it then. Heading to the landing point.
I'll activate your jump as soon as you're clear. And I'm sorry.
No, I want to go to the Nox residence.
Come on, Fia. The landing point. This isn't the time to mess around.
Okay.
Fia? The chronosuit? Come on.
There is absolutely no cure for Morphobite in 1993.
None. I'm reading about it now. The antidote takes years to make. You don't have that kind of time, even with time travel. Plus, you'd need access to quantonic particles, and in 1993, that's impossible.
Nozzo, I do have access to quantonic particles in 1993.
You do?
The machine in the secret basement, remember?
Fia, you're not suggesting that rusty heap of spare parts and circuit boards?
The very same.
That's crazy!
What's the worst that could happen?
I'd give you a list, but we don't have the time. Even if that machine worked, the particles are only part of the cure. There are several other steps, and
Do you want to catch Duffy or what?
not at the cost of your life.
You have your finger over the rewind button.
Always.
Then you won't let that happen. Send me all the data you have on this cure. Quanmexilin, was it?
It's in the archive.
We're gonna do this, Nozzo. And I am going to die trying. As many times as it takes.
I don't like this, Fia, but I'm with you. If you want to come back, just say the word.
I'd really like to go for 0 times, so hold on.
Right. Blood sample, sodium nitrate, buformin, phytofusion. All in less than 30 minutes. Easy.
What? Okay, he wasn't kidding. The only known antidote for morphobite, a poison that causes fatal solidification of stomach acid within 30 minutes. The synthesis of quanmexilin involves the following steps. So we need a blood sample infected with morphobite. I've got that, and that we can get from the first aid kit for sure. Expose the sample to quantonic particles for several minutes to induce the necessary changes. So we get the blood sample first, then we go to the quantonic particle. Mix equal parts sodium, nitrate, and buformin. Hold on. Sodium, nitrate, buformin to create the base compound. Inject the base compound into any type of young flora, like the small tree. Hold on, so now we need the small tree. Tree sapling or plant. Alter chemically as the plant grows. So we have to inject it in the tree and then go to the future. Mature for at least a decade. They were not kidding when they said that this cure is tough to synthesize. We got that. Harvest the buds or leaves of the mature plant. Consume the plant parts will neutralize the morphobite poison effectively. Okay, so let's go do that then. No problem. We need to go to the Knox residence. We need to go to the first aid kit.
Come on, there has to be something here I can use. Aha. An empty syringe, hygienically wrapped.
Okay, use syringe on me.
Well, that was unpleasant, but I got it.
Okay, now we need to put it into the quantonic particles. At the Cole residence. I don't think there's time, but I don't know how much faster that we can do this. They really spend a lot of time chatting with each other. Alright, blood into quantonic particles.
Right, that's done. Look at that. My blood is swimming with quantonic time stream particles. Wait, does that mean I'm chronolocked?
No, just the syringe, and whatever is inside it.
So this syringe is immune to changes in the time stream?
That's right.
Which means it won't pop out of existence when I loop again.
That's also right.
Well, that'll save some time at least. Anyway, 1 step down, 4 to go.
I'll be here.
Okay, if we have time... No, do not inject time blood onto ladder. Now we want to put it into the small plant. Kind of amazing all of these places are 4 minutes apart. So, Knox residence. But in the past, I don't know how long... Oh, I don't think we have time! Because isn't it going to be 4 minutes out? No, we can't do it! So, we're out of time. Maybe I should have chrono shifted from the last point or whatever.
Have to hurry. Oh god, here it comes. Ugh. My blasted god.
Oh, it worked. I'd recognize that look anywhere. How many times has it been?
Yes, it bloody worked.
I knew it would. I timed it perfectly. Run back home to Kronazen, Fia. You have just enough time. It's too bad I'll be long gone by the time you get back.
We're friends, Duffy. How could you do this?
Of course we're friends, Fia. That's never going to change. But this is my family. Nobody's going to take that away from me. Not you, not Nazo, and not anyone at Kronazen. Nobody. Marla, I'll see you soon.
You'd better.
Bye, Fia. And I'm sorry.
I hope you're happy. I really... forget it.
Okay, we got places to be. So, I don't know if we can... It's 4 minutes there, and then like 4 minutes to the Knox residence. I don't know if this is faster or what, but we'll just go here. And then we're gonna shift.
Have to hurry.
And now we inject time blood into tree.
The formula is incomplete. Injecting the sapling now would just be a waste.
Oh no, we needed other things, and I even wrote them down. Oh, I wasted so much time. We need sodium nitrate and buformin. I have absolutely no idea where to find those things. Sodium nitrate and... Oh, I wasted so much time. Sodium nitrate and buformin. I don't know what those things are. Sodium nitrate sounds like a fertilizer, but... I have no idea. Now we're in the past. There was nothing at Boardwalk Books. There's nothing here. And it's always 7 minutes to do that. But I don't have any better ideas. I guess we'll explore. This sucks when, like, we're getting a gut full of concrete.
Tempting. I see no reason. That man is as...
If these compounds were in the first aid kit, I'm pretty sure she would have said something about that. And I can't... Sodium nitrate and buformin. With no indication... I'm not a chemist, unfortunately. I don't know where to look for this. Really forgot about that step when I was mixing up the cure. Okay, so there's nothing here. I really wanted to do this in as few loops as possible, and now I feel like a sucker. So, there's nothing at the beach as far as I know. Cole Residence is nothing in this time zone. Knox Residence... Well, we could look around in the ashtrays and stuff. Maybe she'll recognize something that really should have come in here before, actually, now that I think about it. Typewriter and phone. And trash. Salubin, is that... Well, she doesn't pick it up. Can I use time juice on...
Perhaps another... That's not the way the cure works.
Right, okay. There's got to be a reason for there to be a phone in here. And then this just gave us the last name, and there's nothing else in here. So, we do have access to a phone book, but I don't know what else we would look up. Oh, Sherman. We looked up, we know her last name. We haven't made use of that information yet. I got very into making the cure.
Who should I look up? Aha, she does have a telephone number listed. I'll make a note of it. No.
Okay.
I shouldn't waste my time with this any... I shouldn't...
Well, now I'm gonna die.
Nobody seems to be in.
Okay. So... we die. I don't think it matters.
Oh god, here it comes. Ugh, blast it, Duffy.
Oh, it worked. I'd recognize that look. How many times is...
You need to stop this, Duffy.
It's already done. Run back home to Krona's End. It's too bad I'll be long gone.
You killed Otis Knox, and now me?
I'm not killing you, Fia, not really. And as for Otis, he had it coming. Marla.
You'd better.
Bye, Fia.
I hope you're... I really...
Okay, let's go try to talk to... or call Evelyn. I don't know what Evelyn is going to help us out with, honestly. Hey, buddy, do you have any sodium nitrate?
Excuse me. Sorry.
Thanks.
Have to hurry. I shouldn't waste my...
Oh my god, okay. Cole residence. No. Knox residence.
No answer.
I'm so fucked.
I don't need to mess with that anymore.
The infinity symbol necklace, does that tell us anything? Not really. And then we've got this photograph. There's no other drawers to open up here.
Have to hurry.
Phone? Her shed. I forgot about this.
There's a small plastic bag labeled sodium nitrate. I'll just nick that.
Okay, but I don't think that we can make use of this on its
I'll
own.
just add these sodium nitrate crystals to my quansonic treated blood.
Okay, that gets us a little bit closer then. Because the blood is permanent. The buformin, I don't know where to find that.
The bin appears to be...
And we can't go back in time now, we don't have enough time. Drawer gets us nothing, medicine kit gets us nothing.
I have one already.
Okay, we die.
Have to hurry. Oh god, here it comes.
Oh, I'd recognize that look. How many times?
Are you enjoying this?
I'm not. Run back home to Krona's End. It's too bad I'll
figure this out, Duffy.
Well, good luck with that. I've had 15 years to plan this.
You'd...
Bye.
I don't
hope
think...
you're happy. I really... Oh, forget it.
I don't think that we can fire the weapon because it's not after the fireworks.
Marla?
You better get a move on. Duffy told me what Morphobite does to your stomach. You don't want to find out for yourself.
I already found out.
Oh, right. Time loops. Then you already know that this is pointless. Just go. Leave me alone.
What exactly happened 15 years ago?
Should you really be wasting your time like this?
It's my time to waste.
Well, like Bobby Brown says, that's your prerogative. Ask whatever. I'm not the one who's dying.
Otis was diabetic, wasn't he?
Not that it's any of your business, but yeah. He carried those pills around wherever he went. Probably died with them too.
Okay. That means that we can get those pills off of his body in the past.
You're really okay with all this?
You mean getting rid of you so you'll leave us alone? Of course I am.
I mean, murdering your husband, poisoning me.
My husband is the man who just left. And as for the poison, the cure is 70 years that away. Clock's ticking.
How much do you actually know?
I know everything, Fia Quinn. Or should I say, Fia Quinn and Frank Nazarelli.
We call him Nozzo.
I know.
How did you and Duffy meet?
I picked him up at a concert.
You what?
I thought I was saying goodbye to my abusive husband and the city for good. So when I met him, I thought, why not? Why not have a little fun before I leave?
So you brought him back to your room at the Commonwealth Hotel?
Yeah, but Otis was waiting for me when we got there. He had the devil in his eyes, let me tell you. If Duffy wasn't with me, I'm sure he would have killed me. And Nathan.
Nathan?
I just learned I was pregnant. That's why I was leaving. Duffy saved us and gave up everything to do it. So don't you dare tell me he did wrong.
That can't be right. If Marla or Nathan died in the original history, Otis Knox's history would have changed too. And it didn't. This doesn't add up.
There's more to this than you're telling me, Marla. I know it.
I don't care what you know. Now hurry home before your stomach turns to gravel. I don't want to watch.
I'd better, go.
Yeah, you, better.
It's just such a way to die. Okay, so the hotel doesn't exist in this timeline, but we can do this.
Have to hurry.
And then go here.
He was carrying a small bottle of diabetes pills with him. I don't need much. I'll just take one.
Okay, combine diabetes pills with syringe.
I'll just crack open this pill capsule and add it to my blood.
Okay, now it should be a complete cure that we have to put into the plant. In the past, when we are now. Just don't click on the wrong one. This one, yes? Yes.
There we go, little sapling. Let nature do its thing.
And now if we wait a decade...
Have to hurry. Here goes everything. Ugh.
Well?
Blasting hell, that felt good. Now to catch up with Duffy. We don't have much time.
Thea? How are you even standing? Your stomach lining must feel like razor blades by now.
I'm tougher than I look, Duffy. In fact, I've never felt better.
Well, you've always been resourceful.
You taught me well.
Yeah, I guess I did.
Nozzo, how long till the fireworks are finished?
Any second now. After that,
Nozzo?
Don't bother. I've desynced you.
Desynced?
Small invention of mine. I made it back in 2062. Still works 15 years later. It desyncs you from the monitoring station at Chronozen. When I turn it off, Nozzo won't even notice time has passed. So, we can talk freely.
Did you use that desync device in the field? It can't be legal.
It's not, and I didn't use it often. Maybe a few times just to try it out. Then I met Marla, and, well, things got out of hand.
Got out of hand? You killed a man, Duffy.
He was going to kill Marla. Nathan, too.
We both know that isn't true. If Otis's history changed that drastically, we would know.
Fine. You got me. She wouldn't have been killed. She would have been beaten within an inch of her life and never fully recovered. And Nathan, born with severe brain damage, grew up despising his father. It was Nathan who killed him, you know, the original Otis. buried him at sea on the 4th of July, then killed himself a few months later. Tell me, Fia, should I have just stood by and let all of that happen?
We've let worse things happen, Duffy.
This was different. I saw an opportunity to make things better and I took it.
This goes against everything you taught me.
You mean focus on the job? I found something more important than the job. And so have you, haven't you? Yeah, you have. I know the look. You know how I feel, whether you admit it or not.
What makes you the exception, then? Why do you get to have everything you want, when the rest of us...
That's just it. I found something I wanted, more than anything, so I took the risk. Wouldn't you, Fia? I think you would. I really think you would.
You know nothing about how I feel.
I know what it's like to live like you. To avoid caring about anything because it might disappear. Look at Nazo. He lost his whole family. Now his life revolves around Krona's End. He knows that if he cared about anything else, he could lose it. Is that the future you want for yourself?
Resync me, Duffy. Now.
Come on. Don't tell me you never wanted to explore the past without him watching you. Doesn't it feel nice? Just a little? Don't answer. I know how bad you are at lying.
Fireworks have stopped.
Yeah.
So tell me, how is this going to go?
Fia, a long time ago I asked you a question. I asked why there were so few of us who could do this job. Do you remember what you said?
I actually don't remember.
Something about our psych profile.
Yeah, I probably made some offhand joke, didn't I? I've thought about it a lot over the years, and I've realized something. Life is about change. The world is about change. Change is a necessary part of life. Staying aloof and above it all while the world alters and shifts around you, nobody should live like that. Nobody can live like that. No wonder Krona's End finds so few candidates. I'm amazed they can find anyone at all. They told us we could see all the paths not taken, like it was so magical, so blasting special. But they left out one important thing. All those paths, none of them include us. So I escaped all that. I've walked a path of my own. It was full of highs, full of lows, and full of everything in between. But above all, it was full. Can you say the same? I'm not going back, Fia. So kill me, or let me go. I'm ready either way. Well, what's it gonna be?
Nazo, how long till the fireworks are finished?
Any second now. After that, do whatever you need to do. Fia?
It's done.
Already?
I said it's done. Can I come home now?
Is your chronosuit engaged?
Yes, confirmed. Home, please.
Sure, Fia. Stand by. And timefall in 3, 2, 1. Welcome back. Are you okay?
Never better.
I'm sorry you had to do that, Fia.
Yeah. Well, can't fight protocol.
Do you want to go grab a drink? Talk about it. Or go to the park gallery, even.
I think I'd rather call it a night.
Right. Of course. This was a lot. I'm gonna petition the brass to give us some time off. I don't care how backlogged we are.
Sure. Whatever you feel is best.
Yeah. What a mess.
Okay, so this has taken a turn. Let's see where this goes. Nazo starting his day.
ID acknowledged. Welcome, Frank Nazarelli.
Huh? That's weird. The jump system's engaged. February 15th, 2029, NYU. Oh, Fia, you didn't. Fia, come in. Please tell me you aren't doing what I think you're doing. That explosion needs to happen. You know this. Stopping it could... blast it. I'm setting an auto jump to come after you. If you can hear me, just stay where you are. I won't tell the brass. I'll erase the logs. Just be okay. Ow. Been years since I did that. Fia? Fia, are you there? I'm here, Fia. I just hope you haven't done anything crazy.
Okay, I like that little thing he did to steady himself. This is feeling a lot like we've come full circle. Like, if you remember the very, very beginning of the game, there was an explosion. Oh, we can't call Nazo. The lock has been sheared off with a micro laser. Fia obviously came prepared this time around.
Fia? Fia, come in. Blast it. It can't end like this. Come on. Don't freak out. Think. You've got this all under control.
Blast it, Fia. If you're here to stop that explosion...
Oh, ye of little faith.
Fia? Are you alright? What's going on?
I did it, Nos.
Where are you?
Alley off Waverley. Can't miss it. Meet you there.
Fia, what did you do?
Oh, we had a lot more dialogue this time than we saw at the beginning.
Oh no.
Hi, Nos. Again.
Again?
We've had this conversation before. 44 times, I think. Maybe 45.
Rewind? That means...
I'm dying, Nos. Yeah.
How?
How do you think? Wasn't quick enough, but I saved her. Some of the paintings, too. Not all of them, but... it's enough.
Come on, Fia. Let's get you out of here.
I won't make it, Nos. We tried so many times.
Why did you do this, Fia?
Because Duffy was too good a teacher.
Duffy?
I wanted to do one thing. Just one thing. For myself. No, not for myself. For someone else.
I don't get it, Fia. Why is she so important? You barely know her.
I wanted to know her. To give us both the chance. She deserves that. We deserve that.
Was she worth losing your life over?
I didn't plan on dying when coming here. It just kind of happened.
I'll get an ambulance. There are already several on their way. I'll just flag one of them down.
Tried that. Doesn't work. Sorry, Nos.
I don't know what to do here, Fia.
Turn off my PFE.
What? But the rewinds.
We'll stop. I know. But it's okay. I checked the archive. Imani lives. Knowing that, it's okay. It's all okay.
You can't know for sure if Imani will live.
Don't tell me you are doubting the archive.
No, but another chrono shift can take her away again.
I know. This could all be for nothing. Isn't that amazing?
What?
Think of all the people we met, all through history, all following their dreams, following their hearts. None of them knew if it would work out. None of them knew the future, but it didn't stop them from trying anyway. What makes us so special?
If the rewinds stop, you die.
I'll die anyway.
So we'll try again.
We've tried everything. Please, Nozzo.
won't do this. You can't ask me to do this.
You're the only one who can do this. Please.
We'll find another way. There's always another way.
We've tried them all. Nothing works. Trust me.
I'll go back and stop you.
You do, and I'll never forgive you.
I can live with that.
I'll come back and try again the first chance I get. You know I will.
And I can help you. Like, a second person can make this doable where no one has to die.
I can't, Fia. I can't watch you die.
Then don't watch.
Fia.
Please.
I've had this explosion in my mind since the very first episode, and I still absolutely did not think ever once that this would be how it was going to go down.
Okay.
Thank you, Nozzo. It's been incredible.
Yeah.
And for what it's worth, I...
That's one of my favorites. Could I ask what you see? What are you feeling right now?
Oh, nothing.
Really?
Yeah.
These paintings have a colorful history. We still don't know the name of the brave woman who sacrificed her life to rescue them. Her reasons will always remain a mystery. All we can do now is appreciate what she saved and try to imagine what she saw. Do you really feel nothing?
Was she happy?
Sorry?
Fia, was she happy?
So you know.
That she faked her death? Yeah, Fia always was a terrible liar.
Isn't that the truth? It was her biggest regret, lying to you. If she realized that you knew all along, well, no point in dwelling.
So, was she happy?
Yes, we both were, as much as anyone can be.
Thanks. That's all I wanted to know.
She passed 5 years ago.
I know.
I miss her. I miss her every day.
Yeah, I wish I could understand why. To risk everything she had, everything she was, on someone she barely knew?
I wondered the same thing. To the day she died, she never had a proper answer. She had her own reasons. Whatever they were, I'm grateful for them. I hope that one day you'll find some of your own.
Yeah, maybe one day.
I'm here most of the time. If you ever want to talk about her or anything at all, just putting that out there.
I'll keep that in mind, Miss Quinton.
Please. Call me M. And you're Nozzo, correct?
Yeah, Actually, it's Frank. Call me Frank.
Frank it is. And poof. We now know each other. You have a good night, Frank.
Same to you, Em.
Oh, wow. This has been a big episode. It's gonna take me a second. Sorry, okay, so let's just start anywhere. I don't think it's gonna be a big surprise. I enjoy time travel stories to begin with. I really, really, really enjoyed this one. At first, it felt like it was gonna be like a series of short stories, but like I just said, that explosion at the very beginning, the little prologue you get with Nazo, you don't know who he is, and there's an explosion. Oh, I love it when they do this. Not only do they name the voice actors, but you get to see them. That's so cool. I'm going to try not to get distracted by the pictures. You know, Nazo's there, and there's that explosion, and he says, "Oh, Fia, what did you do?" And just that little prologue was in my head as there's going to be some sort of overarching story to tie all of this together. And for the first episode or two, it wasn't really clear what that was, maybe even 3. And then gradually, as the different adventures went, you do get a sense of what is tying them all together, which is, in very broad strokes, it sort of felt at first like it kicked off in episode 2, chapter 2, where Fia went back in time, and as a result of working with Chloe Sadar, I think it was, the boxer, she winds up saving the life of Paula Imran? What was it? Inman. There we go. Paula Inman. And there we go, Simon Inman. And Paula Inman, major spoilers, by the way, you can see credits on the screen, so I don't want anybody to get spoiled in case they clicked on this by mistake. Paula Inman then grows up to be Pi Sycamore. Her daughter, if I'm remembering correctly, is the singer. What was it? Elizabeth? And then Elizabeth is Imani's ancestor. Like, basically, there's a straight line from the decision to save Paula Inman, who grows up to be Paula Cameron / Pi Sycamore, and then further down that family tree, you get to Imani. Imani discovers the paintings of Pi Sycamore, presumably in art college, and then that's the impetus for Imani to go to Chronozen, meet Fia Quinn, and set off that whole chain of events, which, by the way, changes the last name from Cameron to Quentin. It's very complicated because, as most times time travel stories will be, because there were a couple points in the story that I am still a little bit vague on, and I'm not sure if there's an explanation within the narrative or if it's just, listen, there's other changes happening. For example, at one point in the story, Imani no longer exists very suddenly, and then we discover that's because she died in the September 11th attacks at the World Trade Center. In that version of events, it appears that she never discovered the works of Pi Sycamore, didn't become as enamored of art, and then became the secretary / finance assistant at this blackmail company. And as a result of that, she dies there and then never meets Fia, and the paintings are not saved, and the display at the art gallery is a completely different one. But what was the exact cause of that? And I don't think we're meant to know. I don't think that that's presented here in the story, because there are at all times other time travelers that are going around and doing their thing. And Fia is actually in the art gallery at the point that Chrono Shift happens, and suddenly Imani and all of the paintings are gone. I mean, she's there live to witness it. And that was an absolutely heartbreaking... Oh, I'm sorry, I really like that. We'll see if this goes forward or if something happens. If we get any dialogue, I will shut up immediately. That was a really heartbreaking moment, because you knew at that point in the story how much that painting of Fia meant to her, the painting that Pi Sycamore had done. I think that there's a very, very uncharitable and unwarranted reading of that scenario where Fia just liked being immortalized and she liked seeing something that was in her honor. If somebody were to make that argument, I would say I don't think it has very much to do with Fia at all. I think that it has to do with Fia... I think it has less to do with, like, honoring Fia Quinn and more of having, for the first time in a very long time, some sort of a permanent mark in the world. This is something that I talked about on at least a few different occasions. The idea that time travelers like Fia and Nazo and their compatriots, they exist completely separate from the timelines that they are interacting with. Oh, I clicked the mouse. Oh no. Oh no. speaking of, well, that blasted the thoughts right out of my head. Okay. I swear to God, where was I? Oh, the time travelers are completely unstuck, and everything that they do matters immensely in that we see in the news archives, like, entire nations rise and fall. The outcomes of international wars are settled and disputed and relitigated based on seemingly tiny little changes they make in the past, and they just sort of lose track of what's happening. And there's in the chat that they have all of these indications. They'll be in the middle of watching a movie or reading a book, or like even trying to make a recommendation to somebody else on the team, and it gets changed just in the middle of their enjoyment of it. So ultimately, all they have is themselves. And I've talked a little bit on various points about what it must be like to have the only thing of permanence ever is just your coworkers and the job that you do, and everything else is completely not immaterial, but fungible, malleable. It is going to be different every single time that you look at it, up to and including moments where, especially early in the game, Fia was being exposed to alternate versions of her own life, including another moment that really stuck with me was when Fia received a very angry call from her husband, who was surprised at her weird accent and why she hadn't picked up their son, who was now left out cold in the rain. And I said, listen, I don't know anything about like what was or wasn't before, but right now there is a kid stuck out in the rain, and before I could make it to the door, a chrono shift swept across and the kid no longer exists. And what that must do to a person's psyche. And this was a major plot element. Duffy asked Fia, what is it? What do you think it is about us? Why are we able to do this? And my immediate response, at least the one that I remember thinking and giving, was it has to be something in our psych profile, because I don't think that I could do that. I don't know of anybody that could. I don't know of anybody who could live in that kind of complete and total social isolation. You don't have friends. You can never make friends. You can barely even develop hobbies. You don't get to read books, enjoy music, see movies. To the extent that you do get to engage in any of them, they will exist exclusively in your memory, and your memory alone, because very suddenly they never existed at all. And it reminded me of what I've always thought about the movie Groundhog's Day, where Bill Murray goes through this loop in this one small town over and over and over and over again. And it's a very funny movie, and I love it. And I've always thought to myself that if I were in that situation, I would come out of it severely psychologically damaged. Because imagine what it would be like if every single day, for weeks or months or years at a time, nothing that you did mattered. There was no consequence to it. You could give in to your absolute most depraved base impulse. You could give in to your most, let's say, dark and self-destructive impulses. You could go out and be the best person ever. You could try and fail and try and succeed and try and fail again, and none of it ever mattered. What would that do to your sense of responsibility in the world, where just at any given moment, nothing that you do ever matters, that it all gets wiped away, that none of it is permanent? And this is an even more extreme version of that, because at the same time, they're interacting with these clients who they get to know, at least in passing, but their actions are going to wipe away the lives of thousands or hundreds of thousands of other people that are treated in this story, in this sort of corporate vision of time travel, as being unimportant. There's a few select people that have a high timeline ranking, the Joe Andersons out there that invented something that's important enough to human society that they matter, and everybody else is just numbers on a spreadsheet, and it absolutely doesn't matter at all. I guarantee you ChronoZen and their corporate board are very, very important, but everybody else, yeah, who cares? Who cares about any of them? And that was just a really interesting point in the story. I confess that I sort of thought at various points that as they went through, if you had asked me what I thought might happen in the story, I thought it was going to be that Fia would come to the inevitable conclusion that the timeline rankings were largely arbitrary and were mostly just in whatever was in the best interest of the corporate board there at Chronozen, and that would cause her to get disillusioned with the whole thing. That, you know, there's a version of this where she and Nazo and the others are working towards constructing the best possible timeline for all of humanity. That the high timeline rankings for the medical treatments and the outcomes of wars and the quality of life for people, that all of the nudges that they're making are eventually settling things into a point where more and more and more things are rated as a high timeline ranking because they came out for the best for the largest number of people. That's not the way that the story went. And also, neither was it that it was a much more cynical version of things where it was just about enriching Chronozen. So those were sort of the ways that I thought it was going to go, and I'm actually much happier that it went in a much more human direction. About it frankly leaned into some things that I talked about as the story went on, that what would it be like to just have nothing ever, and what's more, have no hope of having anything ever. And that Fia's interaction with Duffy was the thing that finally tipped her over to the edge, that it was worth risking everything for to find something that she could have that was just her own. The Duffy thing I do have, I genuinely feel like I missed something there, because yes, Duffy bore a resemblance to Otis Knox, but especially, just off the top of my head, there are human beings in this world that knew Stephen King before he was famous. There are people that went to elementary school with him, that went to high school with him, that dated him in his early 20s. They didn't know maybe that he was going to go on, I'm sure they didn't know that he was going to go on to be very, very famous, but now they see him when he gives an interview or something, like, oh, I used to know that guy. I don't know him anymore. I hopefully don't bother him, but yeah, I know that guy. Otis Knox, as far as we know, is not a pen name. It's the dude's actual name. So Duffy just stepped completely into that man's life and became world famous, and just nobody ever realized he was a different dude. I talked about this before, so I'm not going to belabor that. I feel legitimately like I missed something, that just the same way that they can print out clothing for themselves, or remember at one point that Nazo adjusted Hannah Tanaka's speech patterns or something, so that no matter what she said, people would only understand that she was asking to go to the bathroom, that maybe Duffy did something to himself so that other people in the timeline would more easily mistake him as being the original Otis. But if that was ever said, I just didn't stumble upon that. So it's not like a major plot hole or anything. I do feel like there's room in the story to have that explained, and that I just didn't find the explanation. Regardless, here we go. It's just people aren't necessarily born famous. A lot of them get there after having been not famous and just being known by regular, ordinary people for most of their life. And Otis Knox feels like a weird exception, where the game kind of treats him like he didn't really exist until he became famous, even to people like his brother-in-law, who very obviously knew him and had direct personal human interactions with him. And then one day she just brings home a different guy who kind of looks like him. It's well, okay, close enough, I guess. Okay. It's weird and it's kind of funny, and I don't want to spend the whole time here talking just about Otis Knox. There was another thing that I'm not sure if there's an explanation for just within the story, and I think that I already talked about the part where Imani was apparently killed at 9/11 and therefore never became into art. There was another point where the paintings had all been destroyed. That's sort of introduced later on, and Fia discovers that the paintings of Pi Sycamore were destroyed in a storage house fire that turns out to be linked back to the events that we witnessed in Chapter 1, or that we became aware of in Chapter 1. Joe Anderson was traveling back in time to prevent this, college love from being killed in that very explosion, but he was never at any point trying to prevent the explosion itself, and also he did not succeed. As far as we know, every version of this timeline resulted in that exact explosion going off. So if that explosion had the capacity to kill Imani and or destroy all the paintings, it kind of feels like that's where things started. And again, there's other time travelers doing other things, but I feel like there's sort of a gap between, at the beginning of the story, I feel like Imani, Quentin / Cameron doesn't exist at all. Then a change is made that then this Pi Sycamore paintings and Imani do exist, and that's when... Well, I guess, let me take that back, because she wouldn't have existed at the very beginning because she didn't exist until Paula was saved in Chapter 2. But if the explosion at the painting storage facility still exists because that's on NYU grounds, wouldn't she have still been killed there unless the explosion didn't take place? This is a time travel story, guys, so it's kind of difficult to untangle just aloud, but that was just another point that I'm like, I feel like I'm failing to see something that is here in the story, and if so, if you know, by all means, let us know in the comments, because I'd love to see that. Otherwise, it just feels like, well, a different time traveler made a different change, and that's why things sometimes come out a little bit differently. The most important thing, and the reason why, please do not mistake any of this for knocking on the game, is what we get out of this is Fia was very drawn to Imani. She, at first it feels like, and I certainly believe this, that she was attracted to the idea of permanence in the world, and that painting was an actual mark that she had left on the world, and she knew at any moment that it could be wiped away. But she would go there and she would see that it was still there, and it felt good, I think, to have something that existed beyond herself, something that marked that she had existed, that she had done something of value. And I don't think, again, that it was about lionizing herself, celebrating herself. It was just like, I did exist. I have had a mark on the world. There is something for which I'll be remembered, even if nobody knows it was me. And just as Imani is saying that to her, I think you're actually proud of this, Fia. The time shift comes along and everything gets wiped away. And that was a big deal. That really hurt to see that happen, even as you knew that it was probably going to, and Fia knew that. And then she did the whole Time 11 was the name of the chapter, where she got to encounter Imani at a much earlier point, and the two of them got to share a weekend together. And that was probably where it became much more material for Fia, that it wasn't just, oh, here's this piece of art that bears my face, but there's a place and a time that I do belong. And that was, it turned out 2029, which is when that explosion happened, and she was able to fake her own death. I'll say this, for a terrible liar, she fooled me. I absolutely thought that she died. I super thought that she died. I guess Nazo was like, I do like the fact that apparently Nazo did know, and she was like, yeah, she was always a really terrible liar, but he was willing to play along, even though it was only the two of them. As far as we know, nobody's listening. He even says that I'll delete the logs and all that. So there was no reason for him to do it except to give Fia the W, to hand her the win and say, all right, Fia, I'm just going to pretend to go along with this. And then, was it 30 years later? He goes and he visits Imani and is like, so was she happy? It's interesting that we don't learn what Fia died of, and also it doesn't really matter, does it? It's what we're meant to understand is that starting from that point, Fia had a stable, complete timeline where she got the chance to spend her life with Imani. That's the other thing. Imagine if she'd gone through it all and the two of them it didn't work out, and 3 years later she was off on her own. I still think that would have been better for her. I think that what Fia was craving more than anything was the feeling that what she did mattered, not on this completely abstract global scale that could never be measured, never be quantified, and would always be different 24 hours later, but just to have a place that she belonged. And fortunately, she did find that with Imani, and they were together for the duration of Fia's life, which was really beautiful. I think the only other thing about the story that I wanted to say is we also don't there at the end discover, did Fia shoot Duffy? And I kept expecting the game to ask me, if I was going to pull the trigger or let Duffy go and then come back a bit later as, I've forgotten the name, his alias there. And I still don't know. I still do not know to this moment if I would have pulled the trigger. At the very beginning of the game in Chapter 1, Joe Anderson goes rogue. He lied to them to go back in time, and he was going to try to save his college girlfriend, and he had the best of intentions, but because of his own very high timeline ranking, he wasn't allowed to change her past, because then that would, sort of as a knock-on, as a side effect, possibly affect his own. So therefore she had to die so that he could invent Anderson injections that make everybody young for an extra 60 years or whatever. And at the end of Chapter 1 there, the option came up to just shoot him immediately, and I did that. And to my memory, I've never taken the time to say, that was not casual cruelty. I considered that a mercy, because I don't know if that vaporization is painless. I do know that to whatever pain it exists, it has to be for just a fraction of a second, because you're there 1 second and you're gone the next. And I wanted to extend to Joe the same courtesy, the same kindness that I would want for me, which is, if it's going to happen, just do it. Don't do it on the count of 3. Don't do it in a moment. He was asking, like, so what does happen to, I'm so sorry, Sarah, whatever her name was. And Thea just pulls the trigger. And that was not me being casual. That was me ending it quickly, painlessly, mercifully, I hope. And then slam cut forward to the end of Chapter 5, Chapter 6 it was there, when she has the gun drawn on Duffy. Does she pull the trigger? I don't know. Because the fact that she was willing to kill Joe Anderson, it kind of makes me feel like it would be, what was that for if then she doesn't kill Duffy for having done, frankly, a lot more? And also, would she have done it now that we see that a very short time later, she took a very similar action to find some permanence and happiness for herself? I'll say this, I hope that she didn't kill him. I don't think that it makes a lot of sense that she would have killed him off camera and we just don't see it. I think that maybe the writers are saying that we as the player get to choose our own headcanon. So in my headcanon, I'm going to say that I don't think that she did. I think that she let him go and consequently made the decision that if it was good enough for him, it was good enough for her, and then she was going to take the risk to find her own place in history. That's what I would choose to believe. If the game had asked, would I have pulled the trigger? Probably, because at the moment I think that I would have considered it to be consistent with what she did to Joe Anderson. If you're going to do it, just do it. Don't think about it. Don't hesitate. Don't let them feel fear, panic, pain. Do it. Have it done with. I'm glad that she didn't, and at least not in my headcanon. Then we get to the gameplay of Old Skies, which is very modern adventure gamey in that it makes a lot of sense. It follows a very logical progression. There's puzzles, but at least for me, I was fortunate to say none that I got like really super stuck on. The answer to almost every puzzle was generally, anytime I felt a little bit stuck, the answer would be go talk to more people. And perhaps it is my own inattentiveness, but it did feel like there were a couple points where Thea has just had a conversation. She's learned something new, more than I knew anyway, but then where that information is supposed to be applied, who I'm supposed to talk to share, where I've opened up a new dialogue option is not always clear at all. And it was Chapter 2 that really sort of cemented the, hey, if you're not sure what to do, go around and talk to everybody again. And somebody somewhere has a new dialogue option that just opened up. That's fine, and that's a lot better than old-style adventure games, the adventure games that were around when I grew up, which was, oh, you want to know what to do? Go call the hint line. It's a hot $19.99 a minute to answer that question for you. Here, there were those, I'm not quite sure who to talk to, but fortunately there's only 3 or 4 people that are plot relevant, so I'll just go check with them and one of them will have the answer. On a couple of occasions, it was read the archive. My favorite puzzles in the game tended to be I really like the code cracking one. For example, in the 9/11 chapter, when on 2 separate occasions we had to figure out what the door code was, so we had enough information to know, here's generally what I'm looking for. Now let's think through, where am I going to find those details? And the one where it was the editor's birthday, I was briefly like, well, I've got part of it. I have how would I know what year this person was born? And then I remembered that from our previous episode, I'm not going to remember anybody's name, Evelyn, I don't remember her name. The reporter that was locked out, she said a couple times, as soon as the editor turned 40, the editor just turned 40, it was like, 40 years old. And just for that brief flash, it was like putting those pieces together. That, it's not a complicated puzzle, but it is one that's like, it took me a moment to slide it all together and be like, okay, that wasn't just a random piece of dialogue. The 40 years, it's a rather specific number, and you need to know that. You get a little bit with that when you're trying to figure out how far back in time to go to find the body of the real Otis Knox. I thought that was really clever. And, oh dear, I was just thinking of it. There was another puzzle that was similar to that I will try to remember in just a heartbeat. Yeah, let's not leave a ton of dead air here, but there was another one that was very similar to that, where it was taking these pieces of information and sort of slotting them all together. I also very, very much enjoyed the Leaves episode. I think it was probably the longest single chapter of the game, where Fia is going back to Leaves, but she's sort of like starting to encounter herself because she's been there too much and Nazo screwed up the jump. So you wind up doing this kind of Back to the Future 2 style hiding from yourself to avoid causing a time paradox. And I just thought that was really fun and clever. It was like, okay, wait, where is the previous me right now? And I know that if I screw up, it'll do that rewind thing, but I don't want to. I'm trying to make it through all of these, doing as few rewinds as possible. There was actually an achievement I learned for dodging the boxer in Chapter 2 every time except the first time. There's actually an achievement to get that right on her second try. I tried to do the cross punch and she just like sprained her wrist and then he clocked her. By the way, that whole thing about, I guess I'm just from an era where men just punching women in the face, even in the scope of a boxing match, was really rare. If Chloe Sadar is up for it, I mean, that's cool for her, but what's his face, Simon Inman, I forget the guy's name, just getting into a bar brawl with Fia, who's not a boxer, not a fighter, and just like clocking her one, that felt ultra weird. But okay, I guess that guy's on his BS, whatever. The other thing that I liked about the Leaves episode, though, is that the way that it eventually culminated in both of the previous clients, the inventor guy and the PR executive, Madison, I think her name was, both, history has now been changed so that neither of them are particularly relevant or critical to the company anymore. Their pay has gone down, their level of prestige is absolutely cratered, but they remember it, they're aware of it, and they go to Chronozen and they pull weapons on Nazo to set it all back because they were previous clients and they still have like PFE juice in their system, however that works. They're aware of their other alternate history, so they know that at one point they were celebrated, they were powerful, they were influential, and now whatever they are, they're not that. That's not indicated that they're destitute or diseased or anything, but they lost a lot of what they felt like they deserved, what they earned in these alternate timelines. And we only get a brief moment of that, but man, that really resonated with me about knowing for a fact that your life not only could have been different, but was. And then that was taken away from you by somebody else who just thought that they deserved it more. It was also interesting in that I did talk about this a little bit at the beginning. I'm so sorry that I don't remember his name, but the inventor guy, the first client that comes to us, he sort of insinuated that Madison had not shared the credit. She had made herself the CEO, and that wasn't fair. But then when we got back to the past, his past self was all about blowing off this meeting. He could not have been less interested. He wanted to go date this new guy that he had met. Oh, what's it going to matter? And even when Fia is directly telling him, sir, you really want to be there? No, it doesn't matter. It's cool. I'm just going to go off. What difference does it make? Madison can handle it. And at that point, it's not just that Madison appears, and by the way, there's no indication that Madison did anything to dissuade him, to shove him aside. We don't know what happens after Sam Rockwell, or whatever his name is, decides to give them all the money in the big contract. We don't know if she got like really nasty about it then, but at the time, she was all about, like, I'll be happy to do it if he won't. Yeah, I can handle it. It's fine. But she wasn't trying to shove him out. It felt really bad there for a while that we were taking away a version of, you know what I never noticed? The reflection of the Twin Towers down here. That is not the same. I never noticed that. Not that I've spent any time idling on the title screen here, but that's really cool. Okay, moving on. It felt kind of like really bad that Madison had done ultimately, that I could tell, nothing wrong. It wasn't that Madison had treated that dude poorly. It was the fact that he had missed his opportunity. He failed to take his shot, and he wanted a do-over. He wanted that. He basically gambled on roulette, lost, and he wanted his bet back. And this time he wanted to make it a win. And therefore, when Madison showed back up and said, no, this sucks, I'm not going to allow this, I felt better about working with her. And then when Cassie was like, hey, I can split the difference here and get the best of all three worlds, sure, because Cassie seemed smart, capable, willing to do all of the work, it felt right. So anyway, I thought the Leaves episode was really good. It had the multiple travel backs where Fia had to avoid interacting with herself, followed by Nas getting held at gunpoint, and he had to send the recording back to Fia. Oh, that was it. The voice thing in that whole chapter where Fia had to work out which phonemes would be said in order to trigger the explosive gel. That was just an ultra cool puzzle. I've done many code-breaking puzzles in different games. I can't think of an analog for that one, where what we were doing was listening to the dialogue, because Fia's a time traveler. She knows what people are going to say because they tend to say the same things absent new input, and she's listening to them so that then she can go over to the phoneme machine and say, oh, well, when you hear this, that'll be your, arming, priming, and then detonation key. And that was super cool. Just whoever designed that puzzle. I will also say there was that one part where I believe it was Madison or the other dude, and the words that were most relevant were all capitalized in the subtitles. I could foresee somebody saying, oh boy, you really made that too easy. Like, you really drew too much attention to it. I'm here to tell you, if they had not been capitalized, I would still be on that puzzle, because I was listening as closely as I could. And at one point, I got it by accident, because it was when I think the dude said, but oh no. And I just wasn't putting together that verbal phrase with the letters that were in the little phoneme generator. Also, and then we're very close to the end of my thoughts, there was that one puzzle when we were, oh gosh, which exact chapter was it, where we had to crack the code on the safe in the back room of the furniture store or whatever it was, and I guessed completely randomly 23, and that was the correct answer. There's another adventure game that I played recently where I got super duper mega stuck, and as part of the recording, I looked online because I needed some hint, not about how to solve the puzzle, but mechanically how to interact with it. I am not a proud person on this topic. I think that if somebody has done their best and they're absolutely critically, crucially stuck and they cannot move forward, I don't think there should be any shame at all in saying, hey, Dr. Google, I need some help on it. I promise you guys that if I hadn't been able to solve that safe thing and had come to it, I would have done it live. I swear to God, I put in the number 23 because I was just thinking of like, well, I got to put in some random number so that I can do another loop on this. That Jim Carrey movie, 23, I'll just put that in because the whole movie is about how relevant the number 23 is to like all of human history. And the fact that that was the correct answer, like, you heard me go like, wait, what? That was really funny, and I felt so self-conscious about it, just like the most random of guesses. And to this moment, I don't know how you were supposed to get the answer 23. Now that the whole playthrough is done, I'll be interested to look up what was the solution to that supposed to be, because one of the numbers you can look and see that Elizabeth has turned it to that number, but how you would get to the third one, I don't know. And there's probably some loop of dialogue or something else. That was another thing that was very interesting about the way that this game was structured. That is one of multiple puzzles that, as far as I can tell, there's literally no way to do it on the first try. When Fia needed to formulate the cure for her stomach acid hardening poison, which, again, A+ concept. Like, I really, really like that idea, where her guts just turn to concrete and she dies of it. That's a super fun idea. When she has to formulate the cure, there is literally not enough time on the clock for her to do it on a single go. I still very, very much wanted to do it in as few goes as possible, and just felt like such a yutz when I forgot that it wasn't just get the blood and put it into the time crystals and then inject it into the plant, but you had to mix it with like 2 other compounds. And it was like sodium nitrate or something like that. And I said aloud, that sounds like a fertilizer. That's just the nitrate part of it. I had not remembered yet at that point, oh, right, we want to get into her garden shed. When we first met the neighbor, Evelyn, I think her name was, I took note of the fact that there was a shed behind her, but I had no earthly reason to go into it. So outside of clicking on it and having Fia said, well, I don't think that she'd appreciate that when she's standing right there, I said sort of just put that out of my mind. And then when we called her on the phone, I was like, well, I don't know why I'm calling her, but it's an adventure game, we'll go ahead and do it. And then the shed was available. Right, the shed. Bingo, we've got the sodium nitrate or whatever it was. The puzzles in this game were really fun, really cool, and I enjoyed them most when they really leaned into you're a time traveler, especially when you can sort of bounce between 2 different periods within this environment and compare the different pieces of information. But, I mean, that said, what was my least favorite puzzle? If anything, it would just be one of the random times the answer was walk around and just find the person to say the new thing to. And I didn't mind that. It didn't con as clever as some of the others. The other one that you guys saw gave me some difficulty was in the Time 11 chapter when Fia was getting shot at by Hannah Tanaka, and man, I died, I think, every single way that you could. I mean, I really Tom Cruise that, where every version of her getting killed I was able to do, because it didn't occur to me that after the first time of telling Imani to go to the alley and I'll go behind the tree, it didn't occur to me immediately to try that exact same thing again, because now Fia would know that, oh, that garbage can is going to block the bullet. Also, I'm just going to say that I personally would not want to test the idea that a random 2000s era metal trash can lid would stop a bullet of like any caliber at all. I just kind of assume it would blow right through that. But whatever, it's a Captain America shield. When I came across it, it was like, oh, okay, that's actually cool that Fia wouldn't have known when the shot was coming on the first go, but on the second go, now she can take an additional action. That makes perfect sense, and also hadn't been presented prior to that right in the moment of this action sequence, now she knows, okay, now do a matrix dodge or something like that. So anyway, that was another cool moment in the story. Man, I really, really enjoyed this game. Can I also, on our way out, just huge shout out to the voice work. I was surprised at the art style of this game. I was expecting something a little bit closer to Kathy Rain or Hobbs Barrow, where it would be 90s style pixelated. The fact that the characters had a smoother presentation to them, the art style was a little bit more, I don't want to say flash, but it was much less pixelated. And when I say more crude, I mean the characters, outside of the occasional like still close-ups that you get on them, are designed in a very simple way, and I think that really allows the very vibrant and detailed backdrops to stand out. And also, all of the characters, because they have a relatively simple visual design, also stand out a lot from one another. You know, it's very easy to tell the different characters apart. Even if they have a similar hairstyle, they'll have a very different color scheme, different dominant colors. It just worked really, really well. So although I was surprised to see the way in which the characters were presented, I wasn't against it in any way, and I thought they did a fantastic job in the background. Because the characters are visually fairly simplistic, the quality of the voice acting just super stood out, and every single person in this was so good. I will probably for a while consider the Plant Master line to be one of my favorites from the whole game, but no, there were no duds here, and I love getting to see their pictures there in the closing credits. Kind of a bummer that not everybody had a picture, but hey, some people want their anonymity, and I vote that we give it to them. I thought that everybody in this game did a fantastic job. So yeah, on the whole, whether you're a programmer, writer, background artist, or voice actor, or one of the other job classes, animator, that I'm not currently thinking of, just this was a wonderful experience. I really, really liked it, and I guess in the balance, there was nothing about this that would feel like we're going to get an Old Skies 2, but it does sort of sting a little bit that if we were, it would, I don't think, be featuring Fia. And then at the end, like, it happens so fast, the picture just gets wiped away. However, I choose to believe that the fact that the Prime timeline, where Nazo is and the other time travelers are, I don't know that means those other timelines don't exist somewhere, or that they might not return later on. We get slightly different variations of Imani in here, and there's certainly the version where Paula Inman had died, and then the other one where she grew up and became Paula Cameron after Fia had saved her, and went on to create all of those wonderful works of art. Also, just that really goes to timeline ranking, doesn't it? Doesn't it go there? Because Paula Inman died as a child, therefore she was a footnote in history. You know, yeah, we think that this boxer might have had a sister. Nobody really knows what happened to her. Who cares? And it turns out that once she's allowed to grow up, once she has that opportunity, she's a world-famous artist. It kind of makes you wonder about those timeline rankings, doesn't it? How odd those are, that sometimes some people are super important, but the ones that aren't, oh no, they're just dust in the wind. Don't even worry about them. Specks of sand on a beach, it doesn't matter what happens to them. That's, again, not a criticism of the story, more about Chronozen and who they do and do not consider to be important. I think, by the way, that is very much intended by the writers. I feel like from a very early point, I was thinking about, man, what would it be like to just be a non-entity in your own timeline, that nothing you do matters, even as it matters tremendously to everybody who will never know your name, and then that goes on to be a major story element. I think that this story was very, very well constructed. That's everything that I have to say about Old Skies. This was a wonderful experience. I'm very, very glad that we got a chance to play it and to share this journey with all of you. We will call it here. Please keep an eye on the YouTube channel here for some more great playthroughs and videos as we go through. I very, very much enjoy doing live streams as much as possible. And also, there are games like this one where there's so much focus on the story and the dialogue and the narrative that this really does feel like the best way to share some of these experiences with you. And that's it. This finale has run its course. We will see you guys again very soon for the next game. And until then, thank you guys so much, and I hope you have a great evening.